Not so sure if you can hear me quite well, but we're coming to you all the way from Emalahleni. Of course, this was the hometown of the late minister in the presidency, Mr. Jackson Mthembu. I mean, the whole nation was actually shocked after hearing news of his passing yesterday, untimely passing, might I add. And I mean, tributes continue to pour in, Arabile, not only just from ordinary South Africans, but various politicians, and political leaders, some describing him as an incorruptible man, saying that he played a huge role, not only in government, but of course, in the liberation movement of this country. He served as an MEC of transport in his hometown where we currently are. Home province, I beg your pardon, Arabile, from 1997 to 1999. His work and his role within the governing party, honestly, actually speaks for itself. I mean, he was the face and he was the voice of the governing party from 1995 up to 1997. And he just worked his way up through the ranks of the ANC, the ANC NEC, I beg your pardon. But to actually talk about his contribution more in the movement, the African National Congress, and of course in this province, I'm joined by the provincial secretary of the ANC in Mpumalanga, Njali. Thank you so much for having us in SABC, man. Unfortunately, it's under, quite dire and sad circumstances. Just tell us about Ubaba Mthembu, his contribution, your personal interactions with him, and your fondest memories, perhaps, Nobam Velas, as we use affectionately known.
Firstly, the ANC in Mpumalanga, we want to send our condolences to the family of Mthembu, the entire family, the wife of Baba Mthembu and the kids, the entire cabinet, NEC members and the ANC at large, our communities. But we are here today, we are very sad as a province, but the problem is that the person that has passed on was the face of COVID-19. Why are we saying that? Because he was communicating to every household. It was like everybody was residing with Babu Mthembu or Comrade Jackson, because every time and again when he coordinates the cluster of the ministers to come and communicate on COVID matters, he was the leading face on this one. Hence we're saying we've lost really a soldier that has fought a good battle, that has been communicating and be generous and honest with the truth. But what we have lost as a province in Emalahleni, he's been an activist all his life. And what we have learned from him is to stand by the principle and to stand by the things that he believes in. And it was not possible that you would change his mind if it's not what he believes in. That is one of his strong characters. But also, positions never change, Comrade Jackson. I grew up in the ANC Youth League. I was nurtured also by him. He had a hand in me. As I'm from here, Emalahleni. I was part of the upbringing and the input that you see in us today. Hence we're saying we've lost a lot as Emalahleni and as the ANC in Mpumalanga. But key to everything, we've lost a servant of a people, a humble servant that was serving at all levels with or without any deployment. He would get off the blue lights as an MEC or as a minister and go to Luthuli House and serve the ANC, not expecting anything, not expecting glory. Even now, as he was here at home, he's a minister, but you'd find him around, driving around alone and be with the people. We had some activities during December. Comrade Jackson was here at home with the idols. He was here supporting our idol. He was just a person who's serving our own people. Hence we're saying we really have lost in Comrade Jackson. And as the ANC in Mpumalanga, we are very touched, and he was loved by everybody. And you can see the people here, even if we are saying we must comply with the COVID regulation, we're trying to say to our people, please don't come and be many at an instance here at the Mthembu's family. But people still want to come, but we're pleading with them as the ANC, because as government we have said 50, not more than that, and people must wear their mask. And Comrade Jackson stood firm for that. It is unfortunate that the COVID-related issues has taken him away from us. But really, we've lost a good man, a disciplinarian, a person that was principled. But what we'll never forget about him is his laugh.
Definitely. I was actually coming to that point.
That laugh. And he would just laugh and pour out his heart. And whether there's bereavement in Mpumalanga or in Emalahleni or wherever, he's that supportive somebody. And that is why we're saying we've lost one of the good cadres.
Which actually brings me to my next point. I mean, he was described as larger than life. My personal interactions with him, definitely all the time he would be laughing. But Mam Jali, I mean, just tell us of maybe your memories of him. I mean, he nurtured you, you grew up under his wings.
Let me share one memory when Comrade Jackson, or there's a clip that is circulating where Comrade Jackson was a calling order on the young Julius. I was there. I was part of the ANC Youth League because by that time I was serving in the PC of the ANC Youth League. And there was that student movement that was unruly, led by that young fellow. And there was some squabbles and, the Youth League of that time. We dealt with that situation amicably so because we said, we are the leader of the PYA, but will not allow another youth organization to disrespect our own organization. So if you see that clip, we were there bearing Comrade Eve and were defending the family. That is why we're saying forever as the ANC, we respect families, we respect cultures, and will not do as we please because other than being a leader, you remain a family member, you remain a father. And Comrade Jackson was firm on that. And when we drive back in that Titanic, there's that passage we call Titanic, we're saying we'll not be allowing other people to disrespect the ANC or the family. Hence, we're saying we had those memories. But other than that, we've worked and served with him as I was running the election. He was part of the communication team. Some of the bravest thing we would take from him to say, how do we address media? What are the do's and don'ts? Because he's been there, I must say he is a novice. He's a novice. He has moved, but we're not perfect. But we've learned a lot from him. I cannot say he's perfect also, but we said we've learned a lot from him. And if there was anything, he was just human. Like any other person, he would have his own ups and downs. And a family man. That is why we're saying we have really lost.
Yes.
But other than that, Comrade Jackson will just give us a ride when we're from our meetings to office, and he will be there.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to catch you. I'd really love to have this conversation with you, but of course we will catch up with you later.
We will,
we just have to cross back to studio. But Arabile, at 3 o'clock, there is going to be a drive-by by GCIS and other stakeholders here at the Mthembu family home. Of course, they will not be coming in due to COVID-19, protocols and regulations. But of course, we will give you more news. I have heard and caught the wind that Mr. Mthembu might be buried this coming Sunday. But of course, as a SABC News, we will actually verify this information and give it to you firsthand. But as for me, it's back to you in studio.